Power Rangers is a franchise that has 30 years of history, and in all this time many different Rangers have appeared, but at the same time we have had many villains. Normally, we know the most famous villains, but there are other villains that you may not know who they are, and in this video you can learn a little about each main villain and what season they belong to. Let's start with Rita Repulsa, the main villain of Mighty Morphin, the first season that started this Power Rangers story. This villain is a witch who fought against Zordon for thousands of years and then was locked up and launched into space until she was found by accident and returned to continue fighting against Zordon and the new Power Rangers. In the second season of Mighty Morphin we met Lord Zed, a powerful villain that we also saw in the last season called Dino Fury. This villain married Rita and they both fought together against the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. These two villains continued their battles in the third season of Mighty Morphin. In season number 4 we could see the beginning of Zeo, and in this season they decided to change everything, including the villain. Now the main villain is King Mondo and his machine empire. The purpose of this villain was to conquer all the planets, and he was so powerful that Rita and Lord Zed escaped from the moon. Then in season 5 we saw Divitalks, a space pirate who was crazy and who was always looking for revenge. This villain fought against the Turbo Rangers and has been one of the most famous villains in history. In season 6, Power Rangers in Space began and we witnessed the arrival of one of the best villains in the history of the franchise. Astronema has been one of the most powerful villains we have seen in history, and at the same time a character that we could see develop in a shocking way. This villain became a Ranger in season 7 despite being one of the evilest villains in the galaxy. Lost Galaxy was season 7 and featured Trickina as the villain. She is an insect-like villain who wants to conquer the galaxy and defeat the Power Rangers. This villain has been so popular that they did a poll on the best Power Rangers villains, and she is number 5 on the list. In season 8, we have the demons, which include several villains such as Queen Banshira, Diabolico and Prince Olympus. These villains were monsters that roamed the earth for thousands of years and were the main antagonistic force in Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. Then came Time Force in season number 9 with one of the best villains ever. Rancic has been ranked by many fans as the best villain we have ever seen in Power Rangers. This villain can be described as a genetic mutant who has been persecuted by humanity and therefore seeks revenge. In season 10 we have Master Org who fights against the Wild Force Power Rangers. This villain is also liked by many fans and can be described as the leader of the Orgs, a race of supernatural beings who seek to claim the Earth as part of their territory. On to season 11, with Ninja Storm and his villain Lothor, who had been banished and is now back to take revenge and defeat the Power Rangers. This villain is said to be one of the craziest in the entire franchise and has a personality that is a little hard to understand. Then, in season 12 we have Mezagog who fought against the Dino Thunder. This villain is a mad scientist who seeks to revive dinosaurs to conquer the Earth. He has been so famous that they recently released his new action figure. In season 13 we got to see Emperor Grum, one of the best villains we have ever had and who made that season of SPD so good and entertaining. His skeleton form and glowing red eyes filled anyone with fear and made the necessary impact on the viewer. Then we had the Mystic Force in season number 14 with a villain named Optimus the Master. This villain was the true leader of the forces of darkness and the supreme master of the underworld. His ultimate goal was to destroy all good magic that existed and plunge the universe into eternal darkness so that he could rule it as a god. In season number 15 in Operation Overdrive, we had the opportunity to see Flurius, a ruthless villain who seeks to reclaim the ancient technology of the Ice Empire to dominate the world and defeat the Power Rangers. This villain is only one of several villains this season had. Moving on to season number 16, we have Dai Shi, who battled against the Jungle Fury Rangers. This villain was an ancient and evil 8-headed Chinese dragon who wanted to destroy humans and rule the planet with animals and an army of beasts. Season 17 had the RPMs with one of the weirdest villains in history called Venix, which was a computer virus that infected the entire Earth to destroy all living things and reign. In season 18 we saw the samurai in action against the villain Master Xander, who is a powerful demon that seeks to escape from his prison in the underworld and conquer the human world, and to do that he needs to destroy the Power Rangers. This villain was also the main enemy in season 19 with the Super Samurai. Then came the Megaforce in season 20 with a new group of villains called Warstar. In this group we could see Vrak, a high-ranking member of this organization that fought against the Rangers to conquer the Earth. In season number 21 with Super Megaforce, Vrak became a secondary villain, and now the main villain was his father, Emperor Mavro. This villain has a powerful galactic military force that wants to conquer the Earth. We moved on to season number 22 with the Dino Charge, which had Sledge as the villain. This villain was a bounty hunter who wanted the Energems to become one of the most powerful beings in the universe. That same team of Rangers, now called Dino Super Charge in season number 23, had one of the most complex enemies. He was a villain with a split personality named Heckle, and his other half was called Snide. This villain was well known throughout the universe because of his destruction. Then these two personalities separate, and Heckle destroys Snide with the help of the Power Rangers. In season number 24 we have the Ninja Steel with a very powerful villain called Galvanax, which is an evil emperor who seeks to obtain the Ninja Star of Power to conquer the galaxy and become the most powerful being in the universe. Then we move on to Super Ninja Steel with season number 25 and a villain named Madame Odious. She is considered a very intelligent and manipulative villain who seeks to obtain the Ninja Star of Power for herself in order to conquer the galaxy. In season number 26 and 27 we have the Beast Morphers Rangers and a villain named Evox. This villain is well known for being a computer virus that seeks to escape the network and take over a giant robot to destroy the Power Rangers and conquer the world. The last Ranger team we have seen so far is Dino Fury, and they began in season 28 with a villain named Void Knight who seeks to collect all the Sporix to use their power to awaken his wife. In season 29 Void Knight's wife finally awakens and becomes Void Queen. This villain then turns her husband into Void King, and both begin a plan to destroy the Earth. Throughout this story we also saw the return of Lord Zed, although he only appeared in a few episodes. If any important villain is missing, write it in the comments. If you like these villains, like this video and subscribe for more Power Rangers badassery.